Morning, y'all. Morning. Okay, we're gonna try this. It's a new setup. The sound might be not as good. So, because I'm driving, I'm thinking it's going to catch all the extra whatnot. So we might have to bring in the other mics. But let's give it a go. So, I've thought about this a little bit, not a lot. I'm gonna put in my 2 cents worth when it comes to the series that's on everybody's lips right now, which is obviously The Polygamist, and the main culprit, right? I say main because there are multiple players, multiple culprits in that as well. We're not going to talk about, for instance, how I questioned a lot of things in there, how everybody just played along. You know, I was like, why is everybody playing along with this man's charade and the circus? And that's why you're all looking like clowns, right? Because you're just enamored with the ringmaster. Because whether we like to admit it or not, characters like Jonas seem to have this magnetism. Sorry, I'm just getting out of the gate. You know, they seem to have this magnetism, and we're all we find ourselves enamored by them, right? We are just find ourselves just gazing up to them for some odd reason, and we all know those type of people. I mean, even the conversation online about you know, our West African brothers and sisters were like, oh, we would have found somebody better looking like a Chris Brown. And the thing is, they were very specific about why they chose us to Mumchadi, because you see, Jonas is not going to look like Chris Brown. No, we all know Jonases. They're ordinary looking dudes doing extraordinary things. And I say that with tongue in cheek. So that's why. But in all of this, the one thing that really stuck out to me, and I'm glad all of us had like an introspective moment when it comes to this series, the thing that really stuck out to me was appetites. This series was speaking about appetites, right? It was all about appetites. In this case, Jonas's appetite was unbridled, and I think for us it was a lesson. Sorry guys, I've got weird lighting going on in my car. I'll change that at some point because it looks like I'm going to heaven. I'm alive. It was really speaking to our appetites, you know. And also pardon me as I get over my, I wouldn't call it social anxiety, but I'm not cool yet with people watching me as I talk in the car. But appetites, that's what we were seeing on display. This man's unbridled appetite, right, for sex, right? And of course, you know, there's deeper, you know, factors at play. I think there are deeper factors at play. We just don't know about them. Or we haven't investigated why does he feel the need to always be surrounded, and the need, and you could see it, like it was becoming more and more apparent. He just wanted to have them, you know. It was about consumption, which leads back to appetites, right? And I remember a couple of years ago I had a conversation with a friend about something along these lines, and I said, you know, and we were talking, and he was like, no, I could never do that, could never be me. And I said, you know, under the right circumstances, under the right circumstances, a lot of us would be shocked to find that we are indeed a Jonas. And I say that not just to the guys, but to the ladies as well. Guys, it's about appetites. All of us have that thing. And what are appetites? It's just a proclivity to something, right? If you have a healthy appetite, you're going to consume food, right? If you're unhealthy appetite, then obviously you're not consuming, there's something wrong with you. So appetites are normal, but it's how we administrate, how we handle those appetites. That's where it gets a bit tricky. Some people have an appetite for food, like I've said, right? That's a duh one, but an unhealthy one. right? They have an unhealthy relationship with that appetite. And I think for us, we saw an unhealthy relationship with his appetite for intimacy, for not even intimacy, for sex, guys. Let's call it what it is, right? Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, but how you handle that appetite. We've all been given appetites. We all have that appetite, by the way. Don't be sitting there like, oh, that's never me. No, listen, you've got the same appetite that man was servant to. See, that's what gets tricky, when we become a servant to the appetite, when the appetite dictates your behavior. You know, you've seen it before. Some people have an appetite for alcohol, and you sit there and you watch them go, okay, you've had drink number 1, drink number 2. I know you're gonna stop, right? And then it seems like they can't. For the life of them, they can't stop, right? Sorry, the robots are not working here again. Oh, Bryanston. And then everyone here seems to have PhDs, or you expect them to have PhDs in driving. Yeah, what's going on here? Yeah, you guys go. And then these guys are supposed to come Polo. He's coming. And then it's supposed to be us. No, it's not. It's not us. Oh, awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna go because what the helly. Okay, there we go. Sorry. And also, my car just decided, surprise! I never stole, by the way. That's weird. I know my friends are gonna laugh at me. Debocha is laughing because him and I, we're like perfectionists when it comes to driving. So that's gonna be a new one. But in any case, yeah. So the problem comes when we start to become servants to our own appetites. Drink number 5, drink number 6. At some point, you're like, can you even taste what you're drinking? Or you're just now within the black, right? And I think a lot of people have unhealthy relationships with their appetites. And I say that to all of us. This is not me wagging my finger at everybody and saying, oh, you should do better, you should know better. No. And the thing is, most of us will not acknowledge that because our appetites have never been that out of whack, right? We've never been that out of whack, so we've never gotten to see them at play. You know, I could never, be the guy that sleeps with multiple women. You've never been Jonas, right? And when I say you've never been Jonas, your appetite has never been put in an environment where it has the opportunity to go crazy. Think about where and by the way, I'm not being an apologetic for Jonas, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna have an honest conversation with yourself, you'll find that, oh, hectic, I may have the same proclivity, right? A lot of us don't want to get to that point where we go, oh snap, it's there, I'm a Jonas, right? I could be a Jonas or I could be a Josefina, but either way, it's there, right? Because we tend to think that, for instance, sexual appetites are only prevalent in men. No, I know I've met sisters out there who are, they are consumers. Okay, they are consumers. But none of us have had that conversation. I sat there and I watched the series and I said, okay, I can see that happening to me. And it was tough, right? It was a tough conversation. Dano, what do you mean? No, it means that I have that appetite too. I've never been put in a position where I have the access to that much access. What do you mean? I have access, I can get to an excessive amount of women because of the position that I hold. I've never been put in that position. So I don't know, but I do know that, do I like women? Yes, right? So I'm a heterosexual male. Do I have the appetite for intimacy with women? Yes, I do. Okay, cool. That means I have all the ingredients. We just don't know how far, right? So some of us are saying, oh, it could never be me. No, just, you've never had the settings. So that's why. That's why you tell yourself, oh, could never be. Even in myself, if I have a conversation with myself, could never be. No, for instance, guys, and this is me just speaking to the guys, we all know that there are certain people you're just like, wow, that's an attractive woman. That is an amazingly good looking woman, right? You see, a lot of us are in denial that we'll never say that, or I can't see any other women except my partner. Be honest enough to say, actually, no, I do see her, that she's very beautiful. And when at that moment is ownership. Admission is not an admission of guilt, it's actually ownership for me. Now I know, don't go there. Play very far away from there. Because some of us want to be acting tough. No, I can handle it. Put me in a room full of... No, we're not going to put you in a room full of... Because then it's going to be performative. We just need to put you in a room with that one person that is made, if I can put it, according to your specifications. Some of us are thinking, ladies, by the way, you'd be shocked, and I'm going to let you in on a secret. It's not all just looks. For some guys, it's level of conversation, comprehension, how you present your thoughts. Guys, there are people out there that will take you out just because of their demeanor. Yes, but it's the way that he or she puts things down. Ladies, you've seen it? Corporate sometimes. You're just wondering, but why do I just admire this guy? Yeah, I see it, he's good looking, but there's something. No, it's the way that he carries himself. You have an appetite for that. Just have a conversation with yourself and say, listen, I know that is my danger zone. Do you know what you do? You make it a point to play as very far away as possible from that danger zone. It's never going to go away. I will pray. You can't hallelujah your way out of this one. It takes you having an honest conversation. Some of us are blind to our own, or the extent of our appetites. We don't want to have that conversation. No, I'm just feeling a little snackish, and I'm using food as an example because all of us have that appetite, which is the most prevalent, right? I could very well be okay. I could do very well without that croissant from downstairs with the cheese and the ham and the tomato. Oh my God, it's amazing. They're soft, they're fresh. I don't need them. Even when I was buying it, I was like, I really shouldn't be doing this. How many of us have had that conversation? I really shouldn't be doing this. Hey, listen, let's just come and chat for coffee or dinner, after work. We can just talk about work. And I shouldn't be doing this. And I'm not just speaking about the guys. Ladies too. That guy that you thought would never see you in the office suddenly says, hey, listen, do you want to get dinner after work? So we can just, chat about what's going on, what you want to do, how this project can go. No, Andrew, we can talk in the office tomorrow, preferably with the door open. No, I'm not saying it's you that's the problem, it's my appetite. Can you see how honest that conversation is? Because it starts with the text, it starts with that sit down dinner, because you're not just gonna talk about... Come on, guys. Come on. That lady in the office suddenly says, hey, listen, we've got this new project coming up. Do you mind if we just do dinner? And so we can just chat and get the ball rolling. Yeah, we can get the ball rolling tomorrow in the boardroom. The one that's in the middle of the office where everyone can see. Why? Because you've had an honest conversation. You know that she is pretty. You know that she's a beautiful woman. And you have an appetite for the type of woman that she is. Have a conversation with yourself. Let's stop lying to ourselves. You see, the thing is, Jonas did not address his appetite in that. He didn't see it as an issue. That's where the whole polygamy thing gets twisted now, and he's like, no, it is our culture. No. Some of us are hiding behind all kinds of stuff. No, this is no, just, I shouldn't be doing this, and you know that. I shouldn't be meeting this person at this time, at this place. Then what are you doing? I'm just saying, that's my 2 cents worth. I'm gonna stop here before people say I'm preaching, but appetites. Do you know your appetites? Do you acknowledge your appetites? And are you honest enough with yourself to address them, know them, name them, right down to the detail of how they come to you? Because trust and believe, they've hit you before. Maybe you got away or you didn't, but there was no visible consequence. Be honest enough to say, okay, I know what my appetite is. I know what my appetite trigger is. So I stay away from that. And that's me having an honest conversation with myself. Does it make me a weaker person? I don't know. Maybe it does for the super spirituals and the hyper, spiritual people. Maybe it does, but you're not supposed to have any appetites. No. Appetites are there, but they're also meant for us to manage them. I just know mine, and I play very far away. A colleague laughed and I said, I play very far away. These are my appetites, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are the type of people that trigger that appetite in an unhealthy way. And it's not them, it's all on me. It's not about them. It's not about how they're dressed or no, it's about me. Right? So I know I play very far away. I don't play that game. And I am honest with myself, because the moment we start being honest with ourselves, that's where we start to be safe. Listen, if you find yourself you've named the thing, you're honest with yourself, and it's still an issue. I remember somebody did this once a couple of years ago, and I thanked that brother for it. And he said, listen, there is somebody that I'm looking at right now that I should not be looking at. If you catch me looking at her, just snap me out of it. I'm fighting. And I looked at this man, and this guy was one of the most solid dudes. And it wasn't, I was looking at him with marvel of, oh my God, how dare you, with disgust. I actually said, whoa, bro, I respect that, dude. That you let me into your area of weakness. You let me into your area of, like, this is a proper challenge for me. And how many of us have those kinds of circles, those kinds of friendships where you can go say, hey, listen, dude. Hey, listen, sis. Blue shirt over there, walking around with a tie, always got a good haircut, smells amazing, help. Okay. Just if you, or just be the problem all the time. Just be a third wheel. Be a proper third wheel. If you see me start to walk away with him and it's spending too much time, hey, listen, what's up? Hey, let's go. Yeah, be that person. But sometimes we have to be that. I don't know if that is the right thing to do or the right way to approach it, but I've seen it work for me. Admit, address it, right? Acknowledge it so that you can avoid it. Admit, address it, avoid. There's no, you're gonna wake up one day and it's not there anymore. No, it's gonna be there. They're always gonna be there because they're people. They're minding their own business. It's just you. It's your issue. Just saying.